All right, here we are, take two, getting into draft of game two.
And game one was a loss for BG, unfortunately. But we're on to the next.
We are on to the next one, and hopefully the computer does not crash again. That's what happened last time. And then we were unable to get back into the game because the league client would not allow us back in. And here we are.
Looking at draft, you'll see that same drafts from Red Side, all right?
Same bands, you mean?
Same bands, excuse me. Banning that Asol, banning that Lilia, and banning that Nuno. And you'll see that Caitlyn, which dominated last game, has been banned by Blue Side, all right? They don't want to run into that again.
They pivoted all three bans, actually, to things that were picked last game. And the Renekton that was their initial ban last game was first picked. So,
and if you'll see, there's that Nautilus again. We've got Jarvan and Veigar, so that's a lot of DPS from the mid lane in that Veigar.
Yeah, but the Veigar does scale, kind of matching the Victor in the scaling here. And we still probably have that Nautilus top, especially with the Jarvan locked in, which is the same as last game, if anyone made it in for the draft of last game. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of similar bans in the second phase.
And I know that Renekton should be a comfort pick for BG top laner, so that's why that's locked in.
Well, it's also, the main pick of the enemy, so it's both comfort for the BG top lane as well as a denial of the Albright top lane.
You'll also see that they're going again with comfort in the Aphelios pick bot and Nami for support on red side.
But yeah, Albright is red side and BG's blue side.
And hopefully,
the real question here is: do we crash and we try to load into the game again, or do we actually get in this time?
Yeah. I also, once again, that right side comp, very easy to layer those alts. Nautilus R into Jarvan R into Veigar Cage, and Kog'Maw ult. Like that's if they can land that Felios or Victor, two immobile carries, they'll have a lot of trouble.
Yep, that pretty consistent engage, a priority on the side of Albright here. But I do think that with the Renekton and Warwick feeling a little bit better about their ability to, be solid in the early skirmishes as well, right? I think that the Poppy and Sejuani, especially with all the dive that was in the last draft, probably did not help in that last game at all. So being able to pivot over, probably pretty good.
Yeah. And as you can see, we are still waiting for the spectator delay, so that'll be up soon, and then we'll be able to get into the game. I do have to say, the hard scaling, we'll see if it pulls off this time, but, they couldn't make it through early game last game. We weren't able to see it, but they really struggled with that bridging from early game to late game. And, once again, I think the Warwick's a good pick, because Sejuani, that's a really scaling slow champ, right? Big tank. But with Warwick, he gives a lot more pressure around the map early game, and hopefully that Warwick pick is able to bridge by kind of...
I will say the difference, though, this time is that we've got a lot of scaling on the other side as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have to see if what points of the game strength can be found out of the BG draft.
Like I said, layering that Veigar Cage into all of those ults and the Kog'Maw, that's a lot of DPS they can just throw out. So it'll be important for BG to stay on top of, peeling for their carries and making sure that they can get by.
But yeah, this match is a best of 3 here, and so we've got 1-0 Albright. BG's looking to maybe force that game 3, by winning this game 2. It all ends here, though, if they can't make this draft work.
It all ends here. Yeah, there is, a lot of scaling just around this map. So hopefully it's a slow early game for BG.
If they can hold their lanes to relatively even, get that skirmish around grubs and first couple dragons, Definitely feels like it could be winnable with this kind of draft. There isn't quite that same complete power that you get from that Vi and Diana at 6. Vigar's ult and Jarvan's ult are a little bit less blow-up potential on Albright's side this time.
I wonder
And
if
the Kog'Maw does not quite have nearly the same early laning pressure that was probably really hard for the BG bot lane to get through.
or
So
quite the snowballing of that Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Once Caitlyn gets that lead, she can be terrifying.
totally,
Especially,
you would know. You're a bot lane player.
oh yeah, I can't say I love playing into a Caitlyn. It's a common dam for me.
Yeah.
Just the snowball potential, the ability to harass, and with her passive, that 5th shot hitting for double. Once she starts getting those crit items, she scales like a madman or madwoman, and so it's a real thing. Plus, with the Nami support, you can take those risky trades that you might not otherwise have, and hopefully we'll be getting into the game here. Let's see if it works this time.
Oh. Okay.
All right, this
Signs
is a
are
good
promising.
sign.
We might actually be able to cast you a full game of League of Legends here.
Our computer hasn't
Hopefully, if anyone made their way back to the stream after what happened last time, we can actually pay you off with the game. But we'll see. It was looking there we go.
All right, this is again looking promising.
Looking promising here as we look to get you into this second game here, and hopefully can get an idea of what we're looking at. And so if we look here, looks like we've got some familiarity from the side of Nautilus and Jarvan, some mastery there, and then also on the BG side, a lot of mastery on the Aphelios. That is the comfort pick that is pretty well known for the side of BG's team, and then the Renekton with some experience for Nace in the top lane. But
I'm excited to see how this game plans out. I think, I do think the key things to look out for are if that Victor and Aphelios can safely scale. Getting them to late game. Once Rakan gets there, because Rakan also scales quite well. So the longer this game goes, just the better it is for BG.
For BG, you think so?
I mean,
there's the Vigar and the Kog'Maw that both scale pretty incredibly as well.
A late game Victor and a late game Aphelios,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of blow potential. I think it's going to come down to execution quite a bit.
Give us 1 second. We're having. All right, we just received news that there are some technical difficulties on the side of the players, not us this time. So it'll be a few minutes before we're actually into the game. Please be patient with us. We're just trying to figure this out.
Actually, looks like because of that, we may not be able to spectate here because the fact that the game hadn't loaded in by the spectator delay forced the client to crash, it appears. So, unfortunately, we might not be able to bring you game 2 either.
Yep, I will. We'll be reconvening.
We'll let you know if we get some new news, but it does seem like we may not be unable to stream this game as well, unfortunately.
Yep. Just be patient with us, and we'll get back to you shortly.
All right, so we were able to get back into the game. Looks like one of the Albright players' computers crashed during the load-in, but looks like they were able to get back in. So we do have that delay on here, but the match should be starting pretty shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have some League of Legends. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, just checking out what we want to do here.
The way we want it to be done.
There
All
we
right,
go.
and
All
we're
right.
back. All right, this is good.
All right.
Okay, it appears that. Did you pause it?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, we'll try that again. All right, it might just need to jump ahead a little bit. We'll see in just a second.
Okay.
All right,
Here we are. We're officially out onto the Rift. Got all 10 players locked in here. What are you seeing from this initial positioning?
Well, it looks like they're just doing a pretty uneventful level 1. Looking at River, you see Jarvan warding with his flag there, and them dropping those wards in the early bushes. It looks like bot lane is just normal, staying in the tri-bush. You see they're pinging that a lot. Probably some excitement there. I think the key is to play through bot lane for this red side. So, I think we'll be seeing pathing bot by the Jarvan. He's probably going to start on that red buff and work his way down.
Strongest player on the side of Albright on the red side here is certainly going to be their bot lane.
Which it was so dominant last game. That's how they won. Which apologies that we couldn't watch it, but that's what they're going to play for.
Pretty standard start here. Neither team looking too much for an invade. Just kind of a modification of your standard 5-point start. We've pretty much got the full 5-point here from the side of BG. A little bit of bot lane clustering on the side of Albright, but nothing too abnormal. Get right into laning phase now.
And we do see Jarvan is pathing bot. They're both pathing bot because that Aphelios is such a strong late game champ. That's kind of the key to this whole game. If Aphelios can scale and can position well, it's going to be really, really hard for red side to kind of play the way they want to play. Got some minor trading in the bot. On top, you see blue side top has some good wave priority, and mid hitting nice E there.
We got both junglers here. Pathing.
Might get a level 2 all in. He's playing a little too aggressive.
Right. Yeah. Nice trade, get that crash in.
Great trade.
Give yourself the ability to ward.
Yeah. Could have even taken a cheeky level 2 back there.
Yeah.
But, the ward's good.
Could have gotten a little back off, but deciding to stay in lane, keep the pressure up.
Jarvan is pathing bot, so...
Both junglers are pathing bot here. Jarvan looking for a level 3 gank.
Mm-hmm. There's a ward there,
it's on vision, and we don't even have to flash. We're able to walk it right off.
Nice and easy. Hopefully you can still get all those minions, though.
Oh, yeah. I think that Jarvan's first gank, level 3, being unsuccessful is still a big win for the side of BG here.
And you'll see that really put Jarvan behind on his clear. He's just now getting to blue buff as Warwick's almost done with camps. And Cogmos in isolation has built up a decent little CS wave, but the wave is pushing into blue side. As you can see, there's more of the casters, and they're taking those trades. Let's check up on top lane. Let's see how top lane's going. Yeah. So, missed hook. That's not great. Lots of lots of prio with the Renekton. Sam,
Nautilus is not playing that lane for the solo kill potential, right? He's definitely looking more towards team fight potential here.
A lot of pings coming out bot. I don't know if he's going to try and contest that crab or look for a cheeky gank. Would have been a good opportunity to wrap around there by the Warwick. If you see up there, there's some skirmishing in the river.
In the jungle
I'm not loving how this is looking for the BG jungler.
No,
has to burn that flash. And that Victor's really low on mana. I wouldn't be looking for a skirmisher fight anytime soon.
The BG bot lane here is weathering the storm pretty nicely, though.
Should be easy for Jarvan. Oh, still
Another gank mid.
thing there. But Jarvan should secure
Got
that
the stun
double
off.
grab pretty well.
Yeah, gonna get that double scuttle off. Get a little bit of that early prio on the Warwick.
Ooh, good trading out here. But he is trading into that wave, so he's gonna back off. Trying to get that freeze going. This is great. This is great for the Renekton. Great wave state. What's the CS lead look like for top lane?
So on top lane here, we're looking at almost doubling up
pretty
early. 12 CS lead, 4 minutes in. Unfortunately, overall, we are down a good amount of CS. Tried to make a gank here bot. Got about 10 CS in the bot lane, and then about 15 CS in the mid lane. So
yeah, mid lane's really getting pushed in.
As far as farm goes, we're looking at a lead on mid and bot and jungle for the side of Albright, and just top lane for the side of BG.
Having a hard time keeping that mid prio. Let's check up back on top lane. Some skirmishing going on there. Good job zoning off from the wave. Ooh, I don't know if that hook was a good move by Nautilus.
Yeah.
He has to flash out of that. That was a reckless hook. Just because it's there doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
You might lose this whole wave.
So, especially something that if you're looking at how to play the top lane out there, the wave was slow pushing into Nautilus, so he really could have let it slow push into him and just soaked up the CS under tower. Instead, he goes for the hook, has to flash away. Luckily for him, he does have his TP up, so he shouldn't miss too many of these minions here. Got TP's top lane by both top laners. And in bot lane here, we got the wave shoved in on the side of BG, and they're getting their reset off. And if you look at the gold graph at the top of the screen here, we've got about a 500 gold lead for the side of Albright. But game stays relatively even here. Slight farming leads, but no kills 6 minutes in. The lack of volatility is certainly good stabilization from what happened last game.
Slight gold lead there for Red's side. About 600 gold. The time that they're buying, though, with this slow early game is really good because it gives the Victor more opportunity to get online. And, this is a precarious situation that the bot lane is finding itself in.
Yeah, so it looks like Albright had set up that trap in the bush, but luckily BG doesn't face check it, and they're able to just safely farm under turret here. And both full health, very hard to dive. Got a little rotation over here from the mid laner to help his jungler secure the scuttle with drag up. That help on vision is really important here. And BG bot lane clears out the control ward and the tri-brush there.
Yeah, it looks like there might be some action for this dragon, but it looks like both teams are backing off. Not a lot of confidence in wanting to try and lose an early lead or make the game more volatile by going for that dragon, just kind of letting the lanes play out.
Yep.
Kind of like
Looks like we're getting pretty much the same thing in all the lanes. Mid has been relatively even in terms of where the wave's been pushed. We see that side of Vygar's getting about a 17 CS lead there, and then the top lane, sizable lead for the Renekton, even in levels and experience, but very, very sizable gold lead and farm lead in that top lane. And then the bottom lane here, we've got a small lead for the side of Brighton.
Something interesting, even though he's down 14 CS, that Aphelios has hit that level 6 spike that the Kog'Maw hasn't quite reached. So Aphelios does have that ult available, and some very strong trading out of mid lane there.
Yeah, there's definitely some decent all-in potential once you hit the level 6 on that Aphelios. Vygar harassing the Victor off the wave nicely. He see how he's gotten some of that CS lead in the mid lane here. As obviously every ability Vygar hits, he gets a little bit stronger. He's got that infinite stacking in his passive. So this lane should probably continue to get higher here.
Got the flash out of the Victor. Smart flash there. If he waited a little bit longer, he would have been very susceptible to the Jarvan ult, which is now up. very strong dive tool, especially with the Vagar cage, right?
Yep. So it looks like they're going for the grubs just off spawn. We got that ult drop by the Victor.
Ooh, this is
the ult. Oh wow! Yeah,
great
fight.
Great out of BG. That is huge, especially did Victor get either of those kills? No, unfortunately not. For the Victor passive, stacking the early kills is huge for getting his evolutions.
I believe it's just off takedowns.
No, it's kills. It's it's 20 stack. So the way Victor's passive works is when he gets 100 stacks on it, and he gets 1 for each minion kill, 10 for each cannon kill, and then 20 for each champion kill. But he has to secure those eliminations. Takedowns don't quite work.
All right, yeah, but great collapse on the side of BG. I think that a little bit of overconfidence here from the side of Albright. And good punish by BG. Leveraging that strength from their top laner and the power of the Victor ult in a team fight setting, and very well leveraged here. We'll see if they're able to, take that win and use it to maybe make a play around this dragon here. As we reach 10 minutes and neither team has taken that first drag. You can see some aggressive positioning here from the Jarvan, looking to maybe get that dragon.
Yeah, it also seems that denying that Caitlyn pick was a big move by BG. The Kog'Maw has not been able to snowball quite like Victor did last game, and there's definitely a lot less comfort coming from the side of Red's side.
Yeah, but looks like we've got the side of Albright here starting up that first dragon, and BG, jungler's resetting. They decided to just give it up. You can see that the BG has over 1,000 gold lead, and if they're able to leverage that, they might be able to win a team fight coming up if they can maybe fight around next dragon spawn or Rift Herald.
Can we see items, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, haven't quite finished that first item on Warwick, but that'll be a big spike when he gets it. Renekton, already with that first item completion, the tankiness on the Nautilus isn't going to matter as much because he can just shred through the armor there. Really pretty good game state for BG. And it looks like we've got some pathing bot by the Warwick. And they sniff it out, so they're going to see it with all that vision control.
Yeah, when Warwick uses W on you, you can see the symbol above the head of the Kog'Maw there, and it looks like he realized that Warwick might be looking to make a play bot lane, and they back off and respect it.
Sense some danger there.
But it's...
that was...
Jarvan's here for the counter game.
Great Jarvan ult.
And we get the flash out from the side of BG. Looks like they might be alright.
Kog'Maw was able to get it. That's the thing. There's a lot of ability to just layer ults there, because once Jarvan hit that cage, it's super easy for Nico to just hit R. But they made a good run of trying to get away.
No, I think you're thinking of Nami.
Oh, my bad. Excuse me.
All good. But yeah, so with the support being dead and Felios being out of mana, they're able to just get these plates here. Get that bot lane a lead, which really stabilizes the gold there. As we see, we're up to a 20 CS lead and a kill lead for the Kog'Maw. He is well and truly online at this point.
And once he gets that first item, Kog'Maw can get pretty scary.
And we see in the top lane, though, about a 56 CS lead here for the side of the Renekton, so it's really going to come down to the Renekton as we get into these further on mid-game skirmishes to be the carry on the side of gold and damage for BG.
I do like what I'm seeing from Victor, though. Right? He's just taking his time slowly and scaling. He's down quite a bit of CS, but he's about to have that first item completed. It's very scary into that Rilla build on the Vagar. He is just a scaling monster at this point, with his passive and with that Rilla.
Yeah, totally. But I think a big power point for BG in this game will be when Victor finishes that first damage item, as that is much stronger than the Roa, especially before it stacks fully up.
He's running that E-Evolve, which is a very popular first thing to get. And we've got a cage. Strong trade there out of Vagar. And yeah, this bot lane looks pretty uncomfortable. for... Oh, that's some big trading done by the Aphelios, you know.
Yeah, gets his ult off on Kog'Maw there.
He didn't quite ult, but he was able to get that Q passive. And this does not bode well for mid lane there. But we did hit that Warwick ult. Flash is up.
Oh, and Jarvan misses his flag and drag, has to ult. And,
you know, that was
able to get out here.
I believe that Jarvan has his completed Sundering Sky, which, you know, crits on that first hit, so he was able to just really get the damage down onto Warwick.
On that death, though, we do get that Blackfire Torch finish for the side of Victor. You know, potentially a power point here with the next dragon coming up in a minute and 15 seconds on the Rift Herald on the top side.
Vhagar really needs his XP and not Vhagar. Victor really needs his XP and his levels to be able to do his job this game, and he lost a lot of minions on that death because the wave was able to be shoved in. And, that was a beautiful Nani double, and they don't even need the Jarvan to be able to finish him off.
Yeah, great job interrupting the engage there on the side of the...
He might be going for a dive here, and it's Crash.
Yeah, isolated ADC here. Jarvan making sure he can't get a back off. Looks like we're probably going to experience a dive here.
Those are good guns to be up for Aphelios, though.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. That was really close. He was almost able to get the dragon, but it looks like they're going to give up that tower, which also means that feats will now go to Red Team. So they'll be able to get those upgraded boots. Victor rotated in though, see if he can get a kill back, and oh dear, this is not looking great. You know, Kog'Maw's flash forward, and he's got those
lethal tempo
6 stacks on that lethal tempo, and just barely in range. That's unlucky.
Last auto to get the kill here. Unfortunately, we took some shots in the top lane, so that dive is not going to be possible at this point. But Warwick does a good job trading off of that bot side play and picks up the Rift Herald, so not all bad for BG here.
Decent map awareness, seeing that they were overloading and putting so much strength into that bot side. He was able to look for that Rift Herald.
Yeah, we got the TP back top lane here for the Renekton. Dragon's up, so Albright probably moves towards it at this point, considering we just saw the TP out of the top lane, but should be able to get the turret there. You know, get that gold lead up. Hopefully he can regroup with the team for the next team fight and use that gold lead effectively as we move down here and see that Albright's starting up the dragon.
As we go bot, I just kind of want to point out, look at all this vision control down here in bot side that Red Team has. Like, they are not afraid at all to do this dragon because they have a pretty good idea of who's in the area. You know, they're really able to just burst this dragon down. So yeah, they're able to secure without much effort. Victor threw his ult over the wall, see if he could steal it, but wasn't quite able, to close it out. Yeah, just a lot of pressure. Look at all that vision control. They're able to trade like crazy.
And the Kog'Maw's got that Blade of the Ruined King finished and the upgraded boots. We're still on components here on the side of BG, so that bot lane matchup is not getting any better anytime soon.
But they're trying to get this mid turret here, especially before that Kog'Maw rotates mid. You know.
And get that crash of the Rift Herald into the mid turret, get it close. We get the Renekton moving down with his gold lead. He's got his completed item. You know, power point here.
Oh, really going in there on the Renekton, but he does get caged, which is great disengage and heal by the Vhagar for his jungler. Get him off.
Yeah, they were able to weather the storm with that Herald mid, and
we're
really re-engaging again here. Maybe looking for a play, but looks like we went a little too deep and didn't quite have the support of our teammates.
Yeah, ambitious play, especially on half health. I think he thought that he'd be able to, you know, burst him down fast enough that Vhagar will be able to get some real damage in with his E and the Blackfire Torch. But unfortunately, or the Victor, excuse me. But unfortunately, you know.
Yeah, and you know, with that Roa build out of the Vhagar, he's just really tanky and a lot harder to burst than he would be if he'd gone a completely damage-oriented item.
Yeah, those are two champs that are really hard to burst down. Very quiet from the Nautilus, you know. Hasn't just slowly pushing out that top wave.
Yeah, trying to get back some of that CS lead if he can.
Crazy lead on that Renekton though. This game has not been fun at all for Nautilus. Going full armor there, so we'll probably see the Aphelios build armor pen soon. outside of just the collector, which looks like it's going first item.
Well, we've got the black cleaver for the Renekton, which does decrease the armor for everyone on the team, right? That just shreds the armor generally. So, not looking too terrible on the side of that. And some aggressive trading here.
This might be a kill here. I really like the pressure. He's very, very isolated, but Nautilus is probably going to hook him to the wall.
Nautilus also has flash up. I think he's all right.
Yeah.
And a little bit of an overstep here. We take a good few tower shots and got to disengage on the side of Renekton.
Jarvan has flash up, so and you see the ult there. Both ults used up.
Trying to make a play here.
That is a fed.
This is the Renekton pushing his lead, but good buffer on that hook, and unfortunately the Renekton does fall there.
There is an ult on this Warwick, so he might try to jump in there to finish it off, but it looks like he thought better of it. And there is that ward there in the a lot of ward and vision control there in the river, so they were able to see Warwick coming and kind of play around that.
Totally. Very, very good vision control by the side of Albright here. And this game certainly not looking the greatest for BG here, but it's definitely not over yet. They've been able to get a turret, and even though the Renekton did unfortunately die in that top lane play, he still does have a significant gold lead over his opponent. So see if we can get a nice little skirmish around one of these next objectives, maybe the Otacon that's spawned top here, or Dragon spawning in about a minute and a half, and see if he can make some plays with the Aphelios getting really close to finishing that first item. That's a small spike for the Aphelios as well. And the Victor obviously has his Blackfire Torch ready. So, they're a team fight isn't a foregone conclusion at this point in the game. It's only a 3.5k gold lead. So,
yeah, good job, especially by their Renekton in top to keep the gold lead this small. It makes it so that one good team fight can swing the game pretty far. And like I've commented in the past, this Veigar is very scary, but there's a lot of good scaling by the side of BG. So, an ambitious play.
Ambitious play here in the mid lane, trying to make a play onto the shutdown that the Kog'Maw has, but unfortunately a bit too far. I do think it's a good idea to look for a shutdown here, but a little bit too aggressive.
This is a scary positioning for Aphelios there. The mobile carry into Jarvan, kind of scary. I think I would have liked to see the Aphelios play that a little more aggressive. Walk up a little bit more, especially when they knew that the Renekton was going to be coming down, and it looks like Veigar just got completely bursted down in bot lane. Veigar completely bursted down Victor in bot lane.
Yeah, unfortunate. But we've got some strong positioning here and strong vision control around this third dragon here, so side of Albright's going to move to Soul Point.
Let's see. Has that Roa fully ticked over yet? Is that a full 10
Yes,
stack
we are
Roa?
at 10 stack Roa. We've got a fully completed Seraphs and transformed. Got 2 items on the side of the jungler as well with that Black Cleaver finish, and 2 items from the ADC. So we're hitting our 2 item spikes right before that fight. Is very strong position. Still working towards our second item on all the side of BG's players.
Man, Sam, that Veigar is getting terrifying. Watch him just burst down right here.
Oh, totally.
Had to burn the flash.
The vision control, it just allows them to kind of move together and make plays on the side of BG's players, trying to fight up for vision, and it's definitely looking like a pretty tough position to fight back from at this point. And they're just starting up Otacon.
They're bursting down that Otacon. Hopefully they can get that mid turret and maybe even the bot turret and be able to trade some gold around the map, because that's 700 gold bounty that they
Yep,
were
and
able
we
to
get that objective bounty there on that mid lane turret, which is a nice trade for that. If you're going to be losing it anyway, and forces the TP out of the side of the Veigar to make sure they don't get that bot turret as well.
Oh, so Veigar just flashed there and had to traded flashes for that Victor, and this is looking pretty bleak for Victor. He is 4 whole levels down. Just the power that Roa can give, especially early or as we get into the mid game. Top side, things are not looking too great for the Renekton Warwick combo lose that 2v2 pretty handedly. Another reason why this Nautilus pick was a good pick is because, Nautilus, very common support champ, doesn't really need a lot of gold to be useful, Sam.
No, he doesn't. I think he was really okay soaking up the pressure of that early game Renekton, keeping himself as relevant as he can, and see if we get the ult out of the Victor here, trying to maybe make a play on the mid lane, but unfortunately it doesn't pay off too well.
I think I would have liked to see a little more aggression from the Aphelios there. Once again, that is it's a strong item combo. Hit that ult and then be able to use the Q.
Yeah, and we see the strength of the Kog'Maw there going in on the Aphelios and bursting them straight down and continuing to walk forward with the heals of the Nami keeping them at full health. Pretty tough position here for the side of BG. That Kog'Maw really is shredding through everyone's health bar and is trying to make a play here to isolate him out. The Renekton's getting in on him, but the heals from the Nami are really big, and the rest of the fight on the bot side is not going too well for BG either. But
good out of top side though, gets the shutdown on Veigar and the shutdown on Nami.
Yep, he does lose his life, but he gets the double shutdown. Ends up being a 3-for-2 trade, but 2 shutdowns for the side of BG. Well fought by the Renekton, getting onto the 2 carries, or the carry and the support.
Yeah, that isolation, taking up so much time, keeping the Kog'Maw from really being able to get in the fight, gave time for the fight to not be as quick as it would have been. Keeping that sustained Kog'Maw damage away from his carries and his jungler really allowed for what could have been a complete disaster to be averted slightly. As you can see, the gold lead's getting a little bit wider, but it's still they're down about 7k, but it's still manageable. The thing that scares me the most is that dragon stacking. In about a minute, there'll be the 4th Drake spawning, and it is still a point for red side
of Albright. And so that soul is the next big power point they're looking for here, is trying to leverage their lead into stealing the red buff, and good disengage cone use there by the side of Warwick to get out of that pinch that they had sent all 5 for, and got Renekton TPing into mid lane here, who's maybe looking to support his team on that attempted play and maybe try to keep the pressure on them when they start up this Baron, and they're just going to start it up, and BG's going to see what they can do to challenge it. We got almost the whole team here.
Ooh, nice charm. Great Aphelios side, able to get some more damage down, but the wallets on the side of red side are just so large that they're able to just not even worry about it. And they have, once again, strong vision control in those 2 bushes, making it just really, really hard for blue side to get an upper hand.
And the redemption heals them all up, and it looks like they're going to chain it right into this dragon here. As Warwick's hovering around, maybe looking for a chance to steal, so they can't chain the Baron into the soul, but looks like he's going to back off and clear his Krugs. Not much of a chance with the Kog'Maw zoning him off to even get close to that dragon pit, as gold lead gets to about 10,000 here, and it's looking like a pretty dire situation for Bowling Green at this point in time.
I can't say I blame him. He would have been jumping in, desperation ult over the wall to try and get something. Really, it's a rough situation right now for BG outside the Falcons.
Yep, they're going to try to push these waves out as the Baron buff is, they utilized it to chain it into the soul, but they had to reset after, which allowed BG to push their lanes out and hopefully try to mitigate the rest of this Baron buff as much as they can.
And Sam, just look at this river vision control. The entire top side river and even bottom side, they've got some strong control there. It's impossible for BG to be able to access the map without being caught out with just how much red can see.
Yeah, we can toggle the red side here with the full vision of the river, and on the blue side, it's pretty dark. Just gotta
fully isolated.
But got a fight here popping up in the mid lane, and Renekton does his best to make a play, and got the Aphelios ult over top, but the Nami just mitigates so much of that damage, and the gold lead and the item lead. We've got 2.5 items on the Renekton. We've got 3 items on the side of all those fighting on the red side here. So pretty hard to make any plays with all that.
Nani with the Redemption and Moonstone Renewer, just able to really just heal up the team and mitigate as much damage as possible.
And looks like Albright here on the red side is going to move in to end the game, and Victor and Warwick are going to do their best to do as much as they can to stop it, but they're both going to fall, and with the fading end of this Baron buff, it looks like it might be the end of game 2 here, and 2-0.
Oh, maybe. But just the wall of dips it's so massive that it's really hard for even a 5-man engage there by the Rakan to pull that off.
Yep, and unfortunately BG will fall 2-0 to the side of Albright here. I just think that it was well fought, but very good snowball here in the middle of the game. So, here we are, and Albright 2-0 BG. But I think that I saw some improvements in the laning phases for sure, based on the recap of last game, and if they can chain some of those laning phase improvements into their next series next week, they might have a good shot. So.
Yeah, just giving up those early dragons made it really desperate for BG to get up, because even if they're only down a couple thousand gold, the dragon stacking on the side of Albright just makes it really hard for BG to close that gap. Congratulations to Albright, and thank you for joining us.
I was Sam.
I'm Josh, and
we'll see you next time.